Rolling. Let's call the meeting to order. Steve Smith, Randy Chitwood, John Kutcher in attendance. Number 2, discuss possible approval of the minutes of September 27th, 2022 regular meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Call for vote.
Smith,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Ketchum.
Yes.
No petitions. Buddy, you're up. Tell us all the good news you've been doing.
Well, I mean, we basically got all the painting that we could get done. We're starting to have a little trouble with our machine. Of course, that machine's probably 10, 12 years old, something like that. But we did get started a little bit late for us trying to get everything, but we got most all the places, the crosswalks, stop bars, everything that we could. There was a few places here downtown that wasn't able to get all the crosswalks that run east and west, but you can still see some through there. But like I said, it got cold enough here the other day that the paint just wouldn't cure out fast enough. You'd have to sit there for 3 or 4 hours in one spot. But again, like I said, this next year we found out where we can get our paint, all of our parts and everything. We found it over the road. We found a place over here at Claremore, but we're still waiting on a W-9 for them. And that's been over 2 months, so we haven't bought anything from them. But we did find a place over there, it's called Road Safe over in Tulsa. And they've got everything. I mean, that's what they do for a living. They actually go out and do painting and things like that. So they've got all the material that we'll ever need for anything. So and they was already a vendor with us, and I didn't realize that. Last time we used them is they come in and painted Elliott Street and 9th Street for us. But we're done with that for this year. We've been running a sweeper some. Last few days we run it, this week we run it for, I think it was 3 days last week. We've finished up, of course, up at the library, the sidewalk. We completed our part. They come back in and done their grassing it, putting sod and everything on it. So we had some street repair that we had approved. If the weather stays nice, we're going to continue on them. Some that we've had for the last 2 or 3 years that slowly getting to them. We're going to try to work on those. Let's see. I've had a few things that's kind of had a backhoe breakdown on us. And Michael, he's got his last week of vacation. He's got to get off before the 1st of December. So, but we still got 2 that's working down there. We got that one we keep just for a spare, because it never fails. It seems like something always happens. We'll need an extra one. And the dump trucks with the spreaders, I called and talked to them here the other day, and they're still not sure when they're going to come in. They said it could be into 2023 sometime before they'll get them. And of course, we got them at a price, but then, like I said, me and the mayor talked that it could go up in price. They just may not be able to get them for that anymore. I don't know, but we do have the money back for that, and we give them a purchase order, so they're under contract for that price for each one of them. Let's see what else is going on. That's about it. We're out trimming trees right now over the streets, where we continue from where we left last year. Go through them, and then there's a lot of the trimming that we do. It won't take as much because just the growth comes out, but we still had some streets that we still hadn't gone through yet. Mubs we got with them, and Jared gives the okay. He had his crew go down with a truck there on 9th Street, and some of those oak trees that our little bucket truck wouldn't reach them, but they was overhanging, and they're drooping from over the years and the ice and snow, and he went through and trimmed them up for us. We hauled everything off, but they went down and cut them all for us. So I appreciate that. I was worried about them because, like I said, it was just waiting for them to break. Because they was big around, but as long as they were sticking out there, eventually they was going to get weak. And but other than that, we got. Everything's going pretty cool. So our roller broke down. We're going to come to y'all probably closer to this next year. We're going to have to get a new one. That one I got to looking at, it's 40 years old, and it'll run for a while and break down. Run for a while, it's just been problem after problem. So what I'd like to do is get a smaller one that we can haul on a trailer. This has got a lift system on its own, which to me is, I mean, that's how they built them back. To me, they wasn't as worried about safety wise. But for me, these, I mean, it's a finger hand pincher that you're looking at. Y'all can come down and look at it sometime, you can see what I'm talking about. But I'd like to have one that we can roll up on a trailer, take wherever we need to go, because this in here, you can road it from one place to the other, but it takes forever to get there. So it's just not. Other than that, I mean, we got some new signs that's in. We're starting to replace some of the old weather-beaten signs out there, so you should be seeing some new of those come up. And if anybody has something, that, you know, I don't go down every street, so if somebody knows that their street sign is faded out and it's bad, needs replaced, I've been trying to get at least one of everything that we have just to have here, so. But other than that, that's all I have for report.
Any questions for Buddy?
No, thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Buddy. Number 5, discuss possibly recommend council action regarding approval of the 2023 street committee meeting schedule. And there is one on the very last page, if you all haven't had a chance to look it over.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We're all good with that? Call for vote.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. Number 6, discussion regarding the 2021 street maintenance project and the need for a change order with Dunham's Asphalt Service Incorporated.
Okay, this is worded a little different than what I think we need to do. I'm not sure that the word change order is the appropriate wording here. So let me give you a little bit of background as to what's going on. The 2021-22 street repair work was completed back in June of this year, and started in November of 2021, and winter got them, and then they held off and they finished the work in June. During that course of time, we processed a couple of change orders as part of that project through the city council. The big change order was a change order that involved spot repairs around town of places that chronically had given Buddy problems and were identified as problems or issues that had been opened up by MUB for repairs of water lines or gas lines or sewer line work, whatever they had done. But at the time, we needed to go ahead and include those in a change order to Dunham Asphalt to do all those spot repairs at one time, which was processed by the city council back in March. So when you tally all that up at the end of the fiscal year, we ended up being about $12,196 over the 2021-22 street budget for the capital improvements of this project. Of that $12,196, when we started looking at the accounting of that, the reason, in my opinion, that we ran over was the $19,050 worth of street repairs that were done associated with MUB trenches or MUB openings of street repairs. So I approached this, Buddy and I talked about this, and when we originally talked about it, it was basically going to be, we wanted the MUB to pay us back, us being the city, back for the $19,000, and that would put us underneath the budget that we had. Subsequently, the mayor had discussed I don't know if he had been approached by MUB regarding their side of that issues. If you'll remember, one of the big projects that we undertook this year was 3rd and Fairland. We put in a pretty major storm sewer system to take care of problems, runoff from the cemetery property that was causing some private property issues, as well as street flooding at 3rd and Fairland. That storm sewer system ended up running into a couple of water lines that were in the way, one at 3rd and Fairland and one at 3rd and Oklahoma. No, that's not right.
East Manor.
East Manor, I'm sorry, that's right, 3rd and East Manor. That one became kind of a trouble spot. We had to relocate the water line to get it out of the way, because it was a 24-inch storm sewer, so there wasn't a lot of leeway there about moving it. It wasn't like we could raise or lower the storm sewer. We took up a pretty big area footprint for that storm sewer, so the water line had to be moved. So when you take a look at the give and take there, the amount of water line and gas line that was moved is associated with that project, as I understand it, was pretty much a wash with the $19,050 of spot repairs that we did around town at 4 different locations on behalf of MUB. So the mayor decided that the better way to go was to have a discussion tonight with the street committee and present it to the city council, I guess, at the December meeting with a recommendation from me, I guess signed by the mayor and signed by Buddy, that says what we really are doing, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, this is not, is we're actually wanting to take $12,196 from the 2022-23 street budget to repay, I guess, or so that we take care of the overrun for the 2021-22 street project. It's really a change in appropriation. It's not really a change order in that regard, because the contractor has already approved a change order back in March of 2022, which included that $19,000 worth of MUB repairs. So we don't want to present a change order to the contractor saying, okay, you need to sign a change order for $12,000. He might think he's going to get an extra $12,000, which he's not. I mean, he's due and paid what was already approved to him, and that's all. But accounting wise, so that it all zeroes out, we need to, I guess I'm going to use the word borrow $12,196 from the 22-23 budget.
How you gonna put it back in there next year?
We'll put a variance against the 23 budget. Well, yeah, normally in accounting, when you overrun next year, if it's the same budget, if you need to get some, you do a variance from the previous years to the next year. So we'll just be short that $12,196 this year, because we used it to pay arrears for last year. It'd be a variance for this year.
The mayor used the term change order, but my question would be, who would the change order be presented to? And I don't.
Well, this is just a discussion. There's no, this is
right.
a non-action item, so
Right.
we're just hearing the discussion, and you guys can put in your input, Buddy, you also, and it's gonna be thrown right back on the mayor.
Well, it's just, in my opinion, I agree with Steve, the change order is probably not the right word.
Right.
It's just, we're just needing to take the 12,196, whatever is changed, out of our street repair that we're having for this year that's coming around.
Basically, what it is a paperwork issue, and we need to,
Yeah, it's just, we have.
Clarify.
And like I said, because we wasn't expecting, I guess, all that extra work that the utilities was gonna have to do for us lowering the lines. So, but the money that we had for the 19,000 they done, it's basically gonna equal out, like Steve said, it's gonna wash out. Everything's gonna, those two are just gonna probably match out. And so that's why we need to just pull the 12,000 out of this year's budget, and just, so we can get Dunham paid and the contractor, then everything will be over with.
We owe Dunham Asphalt to complete his 21-22 contract, $104,000 and some change. I can tell you the exact number, but that's what it is. What Buddy has left in the budget is $92,000 and some change. That's where this $12,000 number is coming from. We can't pay him the full $104,000 out of that account because we don't have it in there. But to be able to pay him the $104,000, which he has earned, I mean, there's no question in my mind anyway that he's earned the $104,000, and the council, the full council approved the change order covering that back in March. But it's an interdepartmental thing. When we did it, we knew we had $19,000, or we had processed a $19,000 worth of MUB work that we thought would get paid back, and now that's become a wash with other things. So that's all I have in this regard. It's my understanding the mayor wants us to produce a letter, which we can do, recommending that variance be granted for that.
all clear to mud.
Yeah.
Well, like I said,
I understand it.
19,000 had left over from last year. I I went to Jeff and told him, I said, we need to hold this back because this contract's not completed yet. So, like I said, it was just short the 12,000 with the overrun. And that's why, there was things that they had to do that, once they got it dug out, that wasn't prepared for. So, we would have had the money, yes, but, like I said, they're basically going to equal out. Of course, what, they're charging for, their repairs and everything, according to with ours. So we wouldn't make it anyway, either way on that part. It's just, I don't know the right word, for all people to pay Paul or something like that, but I mean, we just need to come up with the 12,000 some, just to finish paying the contract out. Just take it out of this year's budget, so. Which we should be fine, again, because I think we had money put in there for, yeah, he was flying around up here a while ago.
I got him.
All the
He's
way, so
dead.
he was-
John got him.
But, for, the cemetery, we was planning on doing that.
Yeah.
So the money was budgeted for that, but then I guess we decided that we was gonna hold off another year or something on that there. So there's plenty of money in through there for the other projects that we're wanting to do. So, which is, it's not gonna be a whole bunch, but there's been some streets that we've been wanting to get, that needs to be milled and overlaid so the driveways will drain water like they're supposed to. So,
Okay. My suggestion, and maybe our suggestion, would be to go ahead and forward this on to the full council and have another discussion. So put that in our notes, please. Anything else? Number 7, no unforeseen business I know of.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Call for vote.
Ketcher,
Yep.
Smith,
Yes.
Jewett.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.